We started recording. Very good. So open system interconnect. So OSI model. What is this? OSI model, open system interconnect. So we have a network like either your from your system and there is another system you want to communicate from this system to this system. So what we need a connectivity and we need addresses and need a protocols which defines what type of communication, and we need an application. So then what type of communication based on that different applications are there. So for example, you do mail type of communication, mail communication. So here it is you use a web browser or maybe an Outlook application from the client side. In the server side, it is a Exchange application. Okay. And of course, from we are sending a request to access a mail or to send or receive a mail. Here it will understand your request and it will give a reply to you. Means you will send and receive a things, right? So from top of the communication is an application, and a bottom it is a physical connectivity finally. The process of communication will understand by the OSI model, and which is irrespective of what type of model you are using. Maybe if you are using a protocol suite, TCP/IP protocol suite, or Apple Talk protocol suite, or maybe use a, IPX, SPX type of model you are using, and what type of operating system you are using, what type of application you are using, what type of devices you are using, what type of cabling you are using, whether it is wired or wireless communication it is, okay, or whether it is what type of communication you are using. So we can understand the way of communication with the help of OSI. This OSI is not a separate model. It is the OSI is a reference model. It is simply each layer has a different set of protocols. Exactly say what is a OSI model is nothing but a set of protocols to do a communication. Exactly say it is a set of protocols to communicate in the network. Not only direct protocols, also the way it is communicated, irrespective of what operating system you are using, irrespective of what hardware you are using, what model you are using, we can able to understand or we can able to create or maintain or troubleshoot the network. This OSI model is helpful. This OSI model contains 7 layers. Totally, it contains 7 layers. It is a reference model and it is standardized by ISO, International Organization for Standardization. Some people think from OSI model, TCP/IP model is created. Actually, there is a model called DoD model used in a defense system. In their defense system computers communication purpose, they use this DoD model. And this DoD model is become TCP/IP model in the public. This model is in the defense system. In US defense model it is, but in a publicly it is given as a TCP/IP model. And TCP/IP model, IPX, Apple Talk, these are all the models are before OSI model into the market. And no one is using OSI model in their organizations in both public and private community. OSI model is for understanding or to create a new network or to maintain the network or troubleshoot the network, we reached this OSI model. It contains 7 layers. The layer 1 is a physical layer, layer 2 is a data link layer, layer 3 is a network layer, layer 4 is a transport layer, layer 5 is session layer, layer 6 is presentation layer, layer 7 is application layer. As per the layer numbers, some people put in their textbooks or notes or materials, okay, they start with the physical layer. But actually, when you are communicating from a source to destination, so you are communicating from packet will start from here. So that communication starts from here. So it is always start from the application layer and ends with the physical layer. And this side received at physical layer and finally destination understanding is at application layer. Okay. So that's why it is always better to follow the application layer to physical layer. But in case, just in case, if you are, just in case, if you are already studied about these things, like maybe in your engineering or maybe in your graduation or maybe in outside of courses, you are already by hearted in the physical layer to application layer, you can keep like that only, guys. No need of to worry. And there is no correct and no wrong in it, but always follow this order: application layer to physical layer or physical layer to application layer. If you are new, first time you are learning, then start from here: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. The bottom 3 layers, we call it as a hardware layers. The bottom 3 layers, we call it as a hardware layers. Okay. So like the connectivities, defining physical connectivities, network connectivities, right? So that is the hardware parts of a network. So that is we consider as a hardware layer. And all these first 3 are the software layers, including the fourth one means from application to transport layer, it is a software layer only. But the transport layer has one more thing that is called auto OS layer. It provides end-to-end connectivity. So that's why it is we didn't write software layer. But actually it is all these things comes under software layers. It is done by your server or your computer or a device, you can say. Their software part will do all this for. And these are all done by hardware parts. Okay. Once again, what are the 7 layers of OSI? Open system, interconnect. What is OSI? Open system, interconnect. It is a kind of networking model to use it to understand, create, maintain the and troubleshoot the network. It contains 7 layers and it is a reference model. It contains 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. In any interview, guys, this OSI model is most common. If you want to become a cyber security related, or maybe you want to become a network security person, or maybe you want to go for a
Sir, why
cloud.
we calling it a reference layer?
Because actually the we are using TCP IP models, so not OSI directly applicable in applicable manner. So there is a different models are there. Depends upon the organization, but in generally in publicly we are using TCP IP model only. Reference model because of to understand the layer structure with a separate layer we can able to understand. So like a example, you have a textbook. Textbook contains direct information, but you want to go with each and every small part like that. So this we need a reference textbooks, right? Okay. So like that, it is a reference is for understand each and every layer and their functionalities. Any issues occur at a network layer, or you want to create your own network protocol, network applications, and this is helpful.
So means we use this just for troubleshoot the problem.
Yeah, we are using for understanding. First, functionality you have to understand how it is communicate, troubleshoot, and secure. Okay, and which
Means
layer we
I,
have
if
to
I am
provide
getting
secure.
error in network issue, then I will go through all this OSI model and
Yeah,
find is there
yes.
any problem regarding it.
Uh, that is one of the main reason for us. For us, if your level increases, that is a different purposes. But for us, it is best is for understanding troubleshooting. So I told like a ping command, right? So look at here. I'm having a system, another system is there. So here it is to here. There is a communication is there or not communicating. So which one you will check it? Is the physical connectivity is there or not? Physical connectivity is good or not? So which layer it is? Physical. The way you are connected, the way it is communicating is correct or not. And next what you will check it? Both side IP address configured or not. And both IP addresses are in same network and how they are communicating. Okay. So is the IP addresses communicatable, right? So that is network layer. Okay. So for example, to communicate, we need to use some application. Like I use a web browser to access a web page. I use a web browser to access a website, for example. It is slowly loading. So, for example, I open a page. Maybe I want to read about a Splunk. So it is displaying, right? So this is an application to access the web content from the web server. Means that web server also have required an application, so then it can able to provide a web pages to you. In case you are getting an error, you open a site is working good, but you open a page, it is showing 404 error. It means the page is not available. This specific page is not available. Okay. So it is comes under again top layer, application layer, page related issue we can understand. Physical connection is there, IP address is good, but there is a problem. I'm trying to ping to this. The ping is not coming, but website is working. Where is the problem? It is a transport layer related issues. Okay. So how the functionality of a network communication, functionality of a communication, the way it is communication for understanding, troubleshooting, and maintenance, we need this OSI reference model. With the help of it, we can able to do it. Understand, guys, this part?
Yes, sir.
There is a 7 layers. How to remember 7 layers? Either by understanding or by heart. Okay. So by heart this thing, at least for at least read 3 4 times daily. So you will remember. Then you understand anyway the each and every functionality which I am going to explain. So then also when you are trying once, like put a 7 layers and try to explain yourself, you will easily understand. Okay. Even for because I went through this one from engineering onwards. Even I learn one time of learning of CCNA, MCSA. This OSL layer is a become very common question. Any interview, any part of interview it is. Okay. So again, this small part, this protocol part actually comes under the application layer. That application layer, I have to discuss about the protocol part. But instead of that one, I am explaining these protocols for a general understanding purpose. What is meant by protocol? Protocols are set of rules. To understand what is the request from the client and server. So we will understand this thing. It defines what type of communication it is. Okay, I'm communicating from here to here. For example, I use a ping command to test the communication. Ping VPC IP address from A. Sorry. I am using ping command to test can I reach VPC or not. We are using ping command. But what protocol helps to do that task? Called ICMP protocol. This is the protocol. So you are sending ICMP request called echo request. The packet is echo packet. Okay, you are sending echo request with IP ICMP protocol. So this system receive your packet and see what protocol ICMP and send a echo request. So it will understand, yeah, you need an echo reply. So it will give a reply to you, ping reply only. Okay. So how these systems understand what type of communication, what is user request, okay, understand by this protocol only. So I will tell another story. It is, I have a system like I open a website, right? Just before I open some website, right? So what happened? Will send to this request will be sent to the Java T point server. So what request I'm doing? HTTP request to the Java T point. Okay. The server receives HTTP request from my system and it will understand you require a web page. So then it will give your web page to you by as a response. So how this server will understand what is your request by this protocol. So that's it. By that one, to understand you're requesting web page. If in case I'm pinging to Java T point, okay, I'm sending a echo request to this Java T point server. So server understand you want a ping request. You send a ping request like a ICMP protocol using ICMP protocol. So then it will give ping reply only, not web page. Okay. So for example, I'm doing ping to www.javat.point.com. So what I'm getting a ping reply, not web page, because the protocol is ICMP protocol. And here it is, I'm getting web page because of the protocol is HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Okay. So guys, the protocols are defines what type of communication. Okay. The clients and servers understand the communication by the protocol. Okay. The client and server, both the side systems will understand the communication, what type of communication it is, understand by protocol. For example, HTTP is for web access related. FTP, files server upload and download related. SMTP, POP3, IMAP is used for a mail communication. NTP for synchronizing time. LDAP, Kerberos used for authentication. SSH, TELNET, RDP for remote access kind of stuff. Okay, so this is a part of protocols. You guys understand purpose of protocols?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So I listed some of the protocols which is more frequently used in our networks. Okay, so HTTP, HTTPS. These two are protocols for web-related communications. You're accessing through web. It's a web-related communication. Okay, HTTP and HTTPS protocols used for a web-related communication. HTTPS. What is HTTPS? HTTP is send and receive a plain format of data. HTML pages, JSP pages, JS pages, right? Like that. ASP pages. Okay. So plain format only. So HTTP. Not at all secure. So if anyone is trying to tap your data, someone use a wide shark kind of applications, or maybe what are the data is transmitting, so they will capture the data, and they want to see the data, what it is transmitting. So they can know, understand what is your data you're transmitting. So then what we are using is HTTP. Yes. HTTPS means nothing but a HTTP over SSL kind of stuff. This SSL secure socket layer, which is encrypt your data, which encrypt your data. If someone is trying to look at your data, want to see your data, what is your data is transmitting, they cannot understand because of the data is encrypted. So even they see the data, they don't understand because of data is encrypted. You can able to see the data here. You can able to the data is normally here. But in between, while it is transmitting from here to here, there to here, data is encrypted. If you are using HTTP, yes. Understand, guys, difference? Banking websites, mail systems, even most of the websites nowadays, most of the websites use HTTPS because it's difficult to interrupt the data, cache the data kind of stuff also. For example, you are using a banking website and you are sending and receiving data. So someone cache your data, so they will know your account details, all your, maybe I can able to manipulate the data. And there will be things will happens like this. Okay. You send a request with HTTP, and this is a HTTP type of server it is. So in middle, I can able to see what is the data you are transmitting and receiving. I can see, and I can change the content also. Okay, so there is a possible. Actual data is here, different, but different actual data, different data you will receive. That is also possible. But if you are using HTTPS, data is secure. That's a banking, email, the e-commerce websites, even normal websites like this also using HTTPS. Okay. The port number of HTTP is 80. What is this port number? The port numbers are representation of your protocols, the numerical representation of protocols. Okay. So when you are transmitting data along with your IP address and MAC address, and what type of communication, that is with the port numbers we will send. Okay. Do you understand, guys, HTTP and HTTPS difference?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So HTTPS is a secure. Okay. So how it is, our SSL, it is data is encrypted. Because this a small difference is important. FTP, file transfer protocol. Okay. So file transfer protocol use it to upload a file from my system to the remote system. I use FTP protocol. FTP is a plain FTP. Again, no encryption. So people use SFTP for security or VSFTP for security purpose. FTP is a plain, SFTP, VSFTP are a secure file transfer protocols. SSH, TELNET, and RDP, these three are for a remote access purpose only. For example, if I have a Linux machine, Unix machine, a remote, some router switches are there. So for the device, I want to connect and configure, or I have to work with the device, I will connect through the network using SSH or TELNET protocols. These two are CLI based, means command line connectivities. Command line connectivity. RDP, remote desktop protocol, usually in Windows, we use this GUI type of connectivity. Okay, so SSH and Telnet for a CLI. Again, SSH is secure, Telnet is not secure. You can secure Telnet network by over some SSL certificate with it. SSH by default it is secure. SSH is a for remote access with a encryption. Telnet is a remote access purpose but no encryption. Okay, so I will show you my putty and I will show you both the things. I think it is it will be open. So maybe I will use my mobile extra. This is a new one. Okay. Yeah, this is the putty, guys. This is the putty. One is enough. See, using this putty application, I have, if in case I have a Linux application, so then I will give them my Linux PC IP address, select SSH, and open. So then request sent to the my remote Linux server, and it will give permission. So then I can able to log in. In case I'm my remote system is used to connect with the telnet, I can use telnet and give that a name or IP address. Click open. Okay, so this is mainly SSH and telnet. I told that is a mobile extreme. So you want to connect. So there is a different ways of connectivities. See, SSH, telnet, different things we can able to connect remote. But here it is mainly telnet and SSH. These are an application help you to connect like a client side application it is. RDP, remote desktop protocol. So I want to connect my remote Windows server or maybe Windows client system. So then I can view and I can able to do certain task in it. So I use this remote desktop connection, give their server or a remote PC IP address, username, click connect. It asks for a password, give the password, then we can able to connect it. Okay, these three protocols are used for remote access purpose only. And Telnet and SSH CLI base. SSH is secure and Telnet is by default not at all secure. Not secure. SSH use encryption while data is transmitted. RDP is a GUI based. Of course, it is secure connection only. Okay. Next. Guys, understand SSH Telnet RDP purpose.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So this is my client system. I want to send a mail. I want to send. This is a mail server, and this is a client PC. Means me. Means my system. From my system, I'm a client using Outlook or anything application. I want to send mail. I want to send mail. Okay. So which protocol I have to use? SMTP protocol for sending a mail. So this server receive a request, understand you want to send a mail, then it will see your packet and it will do as per that one. Next, you want to receive a mail. You want to receive means the mail is there in the mail server. You want to take the mail. Mail is received already in the mail server. From this mail server, you want to read the mails. Okay. Someone send a mail to you. it is in your mail server. You want to read the mails from your mail server, so you have to send a request is either POP3 or IMAP version 4. POP3 or version 4, and either one of the protocol we are used to get a thing. So mostly we use IMAP version 4. Okay, what is the purpose? So you open and click on this Gmail. See, so what happened? You will send automatically, system send a request to the Gmail server. So what are the mails in the server? It will be display on the screen like this. Okay, so that is SMTP. SMTP, POP3, IMAP version 4. These three protocols are used for a mail communication. SMTP port number is 25, used for send mails, and POP3 and IMAP. So POP3 is 110, IMAP is 143 for retrieve or receive a mails purpose. Okay, these are the three protocols used for a mail communication. TFTP protocol. TFTP protocol is for remote configuration purpose. TFTP protocol is used for a remote configuration, either backup the remote configuration or upload the remote configuration type of things, like configuring remote routers, devices, like that we can use it. Even if we are using with a boot P for deploying operating system and applications also. Another protocol is called a DHCP protocol. Already we know what is DHCP. Use it to assign an IP address to the client devices. I am getting an IP address from DHCP server only. Port number is 6768. DNS. What is the DNS? DNS, see, I open a website. Okay, I am asking this server so some request, but I have to give here IP address, right? As I said, all communications by IP address. You have to give request with an IP address of Java T point, www.java T point. So with that IP only, you have to give a request. Without knowing IP address, you can't communicate. For example, you see docs.google.com. So first of all, you should know the docs.google.com server IP address. Then only we can able to access. But do you know? Do you know? We don't know, right? If you see here, it is learn.microsoft.com. I want to access this data or page, or I want to log in. I should know the IP address of learn.microsoft.com server IP. Do we know? We don't know. But who will give? There is a DNS server. So you have to send a request to the DNS server. I want an IP address of Java T point www.java point. So when you open that site, so automatically there is a request go to a DNS server and ask DNS server, I want an IP address of Java T point. And what is this DNS server will do it? It gives an IP address of Java T point. I want an IP address of learn.microsoft.com server's IP address. And it is request is going to this DNS server, and it is given reply to you learn.microsoft.com IP address. So what is a DNS server will do? So it gives an IP address of a domain or a host in the domain to the client. Example, you open www.java point, then the request go to DNS, and DNS server will give you IP address of www.java.point.com. Okay. Guys, understand TFTP, DNS, and DHCP?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. NTP, Network Time Protocol. Network Time Protocol. What is Network Time Protocol? So your system is got an IP address. Sorry, as a time. is configured, right? Date and time is configured. You are not configured, but it is automatically updates based on your time zone. Based on your time zone, this date and time is will be updated. From where you are getting it is in generally from your time server. See the time server time.windows.com. Time.windows.com. From here, the date and time is synchronized based on my time zone. If I change my time zone, then again click on sync, automatically date and time will be changes. So from your time server, the date and time will be synchronized based on the your time zone. It maintain a accurate time zone. In certain organizations use their own time servers to synchronize their employees servers, all their devices with the same time followment based on their time zones. Okay. NTP, Network Time Protocol. Understand, guys? NTP?
So can you explain other NTP?
NTP. Okay. So simple, like you have a date and time. So this is my date and time. So where it is came from my a time server, from a time server, that is called a times.windows.com. This is a server in the internet, okay, which is from our Microsoft only. So when you are change the time zone, or maybe if in the same time zone it is, so your your system is send a request to the time server for synchronizing time. So based on this, it runs a specific time. Okay, it will send a request, NTP request. I want to configure it with a proper date and time based on my time zone. We are in the plus 5:30 time zone, right? So India, Kolkata, Chennai, like that. So based on the time zone, it will assign a time to you. Date and time will be configured. So from the time server. So using protocol NTP, Network Time Protocol. Okay. Even certain organizations has their own time server to synchronize their servers, their devices, employees, people who are working on the infrastructure. So their time will be set, and even their employees time also set. Their clients will be time also set by the same time server only. So it will be they will follow without disturbance in the time. Without disturbance in the time. Sometimes the 5 minutes plus or minus also causing access problems. Okay. So to avoid these access problems, so they will use this time synchronization.
Okay, sir.
So okay. So this is network time protocol to synchronize the time to your client devices with the help of time server. Kerberos and LDAP. Kerberos and LDAP are authentication purpose. For example, you log into Gmail account. You give in username and password. How the it will be verified, authenticated, and authorized by the authentication server. So some organization use a Kerberos is a protocol for authenticate users, mainly in the Microsoft Active Directory environment. Okay. It is depends. Different services, different applications for authenticate their users and other services and applications. They use different types of authentication protocols. Here I put only two, that is Kerberos authentication and another one is LDAP authentication. SNMP, Network simple network management protocol. Simple network management protocol. Port number is 161, 162. Where this an SNMP used? SNMP. We are discussed about a monitoring, right? Your infrastructure monitoring using or op manager kind of stuff, right? So like the different monitoring tools are there to monitor your infrastructure, means your servers, databases, data storages, networks, switches, routers, your client devices, authentication servers. Sorry, there is a lot of disturbance in method. Okay, using a centralized monitoring system. To monitor, we use this SNMP protocol. So there is a SNMP server side it is, and the agents means a small program which is installed into these devices. SNMP agents will be installed into the devices, configured into these devices. What is these agents will do? It give information about this device is a turn on, turn off, what is their IP address, what is their system performance, is CPU utilization, RAM utilization, disk utilization, okay, network utilization, load on the devices. That information is given to this server. So then we can able to see about a individual components. What is an SNMP? SNMP is used for a monitoring purpose. Okay. So up to here, these are the main common protocols, guys. HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SSH, TELNET, RDP, SNTP, POP3, IMAP, TFTP, DHCP, DNS, NTP, Kerberos, LDAP, and SNMP. Okay. At least 10 to 15 protocols and their port numbers you must remember. For you want to attend any interview that is mainly related to any networking related, servers related. Okay, so compulsory you must remember the protocols and port numbers. Okay, you have to read at least 3 4 times. Try for 3 4 days daily. You will remember. Okay, I add some additional for a funny purpose. You know, MySQL server. MySQL server, for connecting MySQL remote MySQL server, use a protocol is 3304 is a, sorry, 3306 is a port number for MySQL server connectivity. Yeah, tell me, Varma.
Some Postgres is 5432, na?
Postgre.
Yeah, Postgres SQL.
Yeah, right. I know. So,
Like my pronunciation is weak. That's why. Postgres.
yeah, this is a Postgre, different types of database. MySQL is different, Postgre is different, Oracle is different. Okay, it's a SQL, no SQL combination. This is mostly the current people are using MariaDB, and Postgre is more popular nowadays anyway. Okay. Yeah. MySQL is 3306. Postgre, if you want, you can go to the Postgre port number. Yeah. 5432. Okay. So yeah, you can add up here. So this is Oracle DB listener. Uh, um, Oracle DB listener. This listener is to connect a Oracle database remotely. This is called a TNS listener. The TNS listener, the port number is 1521. TNS listener, port number is 1521. Okay, just I am given here. It does not mean it is a really important. It's not like that. It's just I given. Okay. Tomcat is the most common server, web server it is. The most of the Tomcat NGINX servers use port number by default 8080. Okay. So these are the different protocols and their port numbers. Guys, once again, what is the OSI model? Open System Interconnect. It is a reference model. It is having lot of protocols. Each layer has different set of protocols for communication purpose. And OSI model is used to understand, maintain, and troubleshoot network. It contains 7 layers: application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. Okay. So yeah, I can, but this is a very big thing. Guys, can we start a explanation or just 1 minute only? So I will stop recording and I will start recording from there. Why Amir Ashish joined now?